Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. That is the message, to expect big results. You know, when we put our expectations down and we make them huge and we make them fabulous, and you know, I'm going to give you a hint right now. This is the thing, that one of the things that I do, and it really helps because it's a delightful thing to say. Of course, I'm going to crush this sprint. Of course, I'm going to get great, big, huge results. Of course, when you start saying that, of course you're going to whatever. It just makes you feel like light and makes you kind of smile a little bit. It really is a cool thing to do. Oh my gosh, how did I lose this? I've got a whole thing on gratitude here. Maybe I will say this at another time, but that's not what I'm looking for. I am looking for, this is from 2018 that I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find the thing that I wrote this whole thing out on how thoughts are just so critically important. And I saw this morning and I went, you know what? This is what I need to be sharing today, because thoughts are just absolutely, they're everything. They're everything. Oh my gosh, I fully lost it. Oh, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to riff without my notes. You guys don't want that. Here it is. Yeah, I found it. Boom. Oh, I love it so much. Here we go. And speaking of thoughts, our quote of the week is from Edward Abbey, and here it is. Freedom begins between your ears. And I'm telling you, please write these quotes down. Put them in your journal. Think about them. This is a great place to drop a meditative seed. You know, we have to do that. When we drop these seeds, we start to think about, what does that exactly mean? What does it mean when your freedom begins with your thoughts? Think about that, because it does is what it is. Have you ever been in the place where you have been trapped by this continual loop of negativity? You know what that feels like. Well, think about what it's like to drop that and instead have this positivity in its place. Think about that. Catherine wants me to sing. It might happen, Catherine. It might happen. Oh, I can't promise that it won't. Anyway, don't forget that we have Q&A this Friday. Who's ever sent a question in? I do not disappoint with my answers, do I? I'm telling you, I go into full research mode on your questions. So if you have a question, nutrition, cooking, whatever, send it in to support@savingdinner.com in the subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, and I will answer it this Friday right here, this time. What do you think of that? I think it's a great thing. So I've told you about, you know, everything. Let's get into the material here. I want to share with you about thoughts, because I think one of the hardest things to tackle is one of the most invisible, and that's the things that we think over and over and over again. What is it? What's the loop that we're in? And sometimes it is, have you ever noticed this, that you don't even notice that you're thinking in that way? It's just such a habit. It's such a thing that we do on the regular that we don't even notice that our daily thing is this negativity loop. As soon as we get up, we're thinking, okay, what is this? Aha, there it is. Let me hop onto the treadmill. You know, that treadmill of negativity becomes a dreadmill for your whole life. And when you do this, it takes away all the joy, all the vibrancy, all the goodness that you want in your life. And I say no to that. I say no to that. That's why I say we need to get out of this place of living in this whole, you know, subconscious of our lives. And you know what I'm talking about. Bruce Lipton says that he wrote this book called The Biology of Belief, which will blow your brains out. I mean, it's just amazing. And what he says is that most of us live in our subconscious minds. This is where that negativity loop is, right? That's the Dreadmill of Negativity, right, Sarah? That's where it is. And it's just, you're going nowhere. You know, this is the thing. You're going nowhere. You're doing nothing. And we're just preoccupied on such a level that we're missing out on our lives. 95% of our time is spent like that. And the other 5% is spent like actually in the present of doing our lives. And I was saying, let's flip it. I want 5% of my time spent like that. I'm fine doing this where I'm just, you know, in my head or whatever, cleaning a toilet. I'm fine doing that. But the rest of the time, I want to be present. I want to have vibrancy in my life. So we have to address our thoughts. Without addressing our thoughts, we're just left in the Dreadmill of negativity, way in the back of our heads, so much so that we get in our cars, we drive somewhere and we go, wow, I don't even remember getting here. Because we're stuck in that place. And I'm saying, let's go to the front of our heads. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's live in the present. Let's connect eyeball to eyeball. And, you know, especially with all that's happened in 2020, because it's been such a you-know-what show, it has been completely bonkers. Who knew we'd be in this place? But because it's been so bonkers and because it's been so whatever, we have to work, I think, a little bit harder to realign the way we're thinking and to completely purposefully redirect our thoughts. That's why we're getting ready, and we just had a big team meeting yesterday, actually, for the end of the year. We're going to be doing some work on setting goals, having a whole workshop, following up with doing vision boards and the whole 9 yards. It's going to be really great. It's going to be based on the Take Back Your Life journal. So if you have the journal, you will be invited into this. If you don't, it's $15 to get the PDF of it. You know, unless you want the hard copy. In that case, you get the PDF and the hard copy. But you can find it at savingdinner.com/journal if you want to get on top of that right now, because I'm telling you, this workshop is going to blow your mind. When you find out how much power you have and how just the thoughts that you think and the ways, just the slight adjustment to your environment and your habits can completely 100% change the whole trajectory of your life. Making it vibrant, making it optimized, making it something that you really want. That is incredible. That's incredible. Anyway, so I have like these random thoughts. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna wanna sign up for our emails because we have a new thing that we're doing, and our Amber is here today. You'll see her in the Saving Dinner doing the comments. She's gonna have Amber's notes. She's taking notes on everything, and she's gonna be doing notes for all of these, for all of our shows. Isn't that so great? Because one of our biggest heart's desire is to help you move the needle in your life. Whatever it is, whatever that looks like, you know, you want to lose weight. Do you want to have a better, vibrant life? Do you want to feel good in your own skin? Do you want to get rid of the aches and pains? Do you want to have better relationships? I'm not a relationship expert, but you know what I've noticed is that when we start putting our health first and we start taking care of ourselves and we start doing the things that we need to be doing anyway, these things start to fall into place naturally. That's vibrancy. I love it. That's vibrancy right there. So that's what we're talking about. So you'll want to get Amber's notes. They will be in today's email, which will be going out a little bit later after the show. So let's talk about thoughts, because thoughts do become things. Thoughts do become things. And the other thing that happens with us when we're thinking about all these different things, we think it doesn't mean anything. We keep in this habitual pattern of thinking about things that we don't even realize are taking us down, are limiting the way that we believe, that are putting us into a place of feeling bad about ourselves. Because our thoughts become ideas, become feelings behind it, become emotions. And before we knew it, we're thinking, why do I feel so crummy? What's going on here? What's your thoughts? It's where it starts. It's the genesis of all this feel badness. And that's why I'm saying we need to get off this Dreadmill of negativity and hop into this whole life of vibrancy. And it starts with what we think about. And that's transformational. completely transformational. So I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff about thoughts. And if you're taking notes, take notes. But you know, Amber's going to be taking them, so you're going to want to make sure that you get Amber's notes. And the only way to do that is to go to savingdinner.com and just get our email. We'll also send you a free menu and a bunch of other stuff because we're cool like that. But I want you to get these notes because they're really going to be good. Because I know Amber, she delivers, you know. She always does things a step up. She's fantastic. So you have to start by cleaning up your mouth. You ready? Clean it up. Stop saying things that put you in a corner, that put you down, that put you in a place that makes you this big. Stop that. Oh, I can't do that because I'm just this. I'm always been this. Here's a couple of things that I say. I'm not a math person. I've said that forever, and it makes me look stupid. Math is not my favorite thing, but I seriously can add some numbers. Saying I am not a math person puts you in a place that says I don't have enough intelligence. That's just patently not true. So stop that. Or how about this? I suck at fill in the blank. I can't do it. I'm not this, that, or the other thing. Or how about I'm so forgetful, or I'm so clumsy. I've shared with you, I've got a friend online who says she calls herself, I'm not even going to say what she calls herself. I'm not even going to get into that just in case she's watching it. But she calls herself whatever, you know, it is Calamity Jane or whatever. And she's constantly doing pictures of her injuries. Well, guess what? Your reticular activating system is saying, when you say, I'm clumsy, I'm two left feet, I'm fat, I'm old, whatever. Yeah, your reticular activating system is going to go, okay, let's go find some evidence to pick that up and prove that you're right. I'm always late will always put you in the place of thinking I've got 5 more minutes than you really do. And then you're late and then you're stressed and it's this, that's a dreadmill of negativity right there, isn't it? Just that one thing, because you've labeled yourself like this. And that's a thought, an old thought. And sometimes it's an ancient thought from when you were a little kid. You know, maybe your parents, my dad told me one time, and I've told you this, you know, when I have a scar right here that you can barely see, I mean, after this, but my dad took my face, held my hand, put his hand under my chin like this, turned my face from here to there, and he said, if it wasn't for that scar, you'd be pretty. He said that. He told me that when I was a little kid. Another one was, that doctor ruined your face. Because I fell and I cut this open, and it's just, and all through junior high school, I got bullied for the way I looked. I felt really low and horrible about myself, but my own father told me I was ugly. And he didn't he didn't say, well, you know what, today I'm going to wake up and tell my daughter she's ugly. It's just that's how penetrating your words are. These are the things that we take into our lives, and it affects us all the way until we actively look at that thought and question it. Is this even true? You know, is it true? No, it's not. No, it's not. So we have to clean up our mouth. We have to clean up what we're saying about ourselves. I used to always say, and I have to take this off, I just suddenly got hot. I used to always say too, if I walk by a bakery and smell it, I'll gain weight. And guess what happened? I'd gain weight. I would gain weight. And you know why? Because again, that's what our brains are about. Our brain looks for the evidence to support the things that you're saying about yourself, because we want to be right. That's what happens. So keep that in mind. Your words create or your words deflate. Thank you, Norma. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. So and then the other thing is, think about the right words at the right time. When do you need that? You know, have you ever thought about that, when you could just say something that you know is going to make somebody else's day? Have you thought of that? How can I brighten somebody else's day up? What can I do that will make a difference? What word can I leave with them? Because, you know, I want us to be the type of people that are effervescent in the way that we speak. that we have such enthusiasm about ourselves and about others that we continually raise each other up. We can do that. We can do that. You know, you can see somebody and say, you know, I can't believe what a blessing you are. You always bring the best. You always bring your best self. I see it this continually. Exactly, Jenna. The power of life and death are in the power of the tongue. And that was the Bible verse that I woke up with today. It's true. And especially in these polarizing times. We can say things, we can pitch each other against each other, but what's the point in that? Aren't we all just humans trying to do the best that we can? Don't you want to just say, can we just stop this garbage? Lay it all down and love one another? Now, I don't believe for a minute that that's going to happen. There's just such polarization going and you know, unfortunately. But I will tell you, that is my heart's desire. That's why I leave it all. I don't touch all of that. Let's look at effort. Let's look at being effervescent. Let's look at being vibrant. Let's look at just being shiny and bright and loving and kind, and let that be the whole vibe that we're throwing out, because it shows. It comes right out of your skin. You know, it comes right out of you. And when we are in that place, we're higher. The vibration is higher. The energy is higher. It's just, it's more attractive. It's loving. And what we're thinking about, that's what we're bringing about. So we have to have these right words at the right time for our people, to love them. Somebody in your circle needs loving up right now. Do you know that? Someone needs a kind word from you. And we have the choice to do this. As we do this too, we raise things up. And we raise the whole temperature up, and we make things warm and loving and inclusive and connected. We don't feel so isolated anymore. And words are anchors to, I wrote this. You guys gotta hear this. This is good stuff. This is from 2018. Words are anchors to a magnificent ship capable of going anywhere, or a sinking ship that's a shipwreck doomed to the bottom of the sea. Anchors. Words are anchors. That's how powerful they are. So your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, or your inactions become part of your own personal reality. You know, that's what it is. Constantly looking for evidence to support the things you're thinking about. So here's an anatomy of a thought. You got to be thinking about this. What is a thought anyway? Well, we start with, it's this idea. The first thing you should do is question it. Is it true? Is this 100% accurate? And then the next thing is it useful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it going to help others? Is it going to take them to the next level? Or is it going to put them down, feel small, and pushed aside and not included? Let's think about that. That's how powerful words are. And your words have the power to lift them up or put them down. And why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we look at being that kind of a person who can lift somebody up with just one kind word? So watch how often you say something on repeat. I told you that. I'm fat, I'm old. We had that one. I suck at math. I can't do this, or I can't do that. Oh, I can't do this. I can't walk over here. I can't lift weights. That's too hard. Every time we do this, we put ourselves into another corner, another corner, another corner, and then we're stuck. We're stuck in our own thoughts. We've made our own prison. Do you see that? That's what our words do. Our words have the power to lift others up and ourselves as well. Our words have a power to transform our entire lives if we choose them wisely. So when our emotions drive our decision making, that's the fuel. So when we put emotion behind our words, can you imagine how that is? I hate it, I just can't, and it's just so horrible. Smaller and smaller and smaller you go. The idea becomes smaller and smaller, more into the corner. Catherine says she's getting out of the corner. That makes me smile, Catherine. That's what happens to us when we have this whole vocabulary of put downs to ourselves, to others, to all of it. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Why do we pitch us against them? And one-upsmanship is part of this whole equation of just word salad that puts people into their place, puts us into that place. Wisdom, logic, fear, and doubt aren't the spark for the engine. It's emotion. Our emotions are the things that lead us. Our emotions are the fuel underneath all of it. And when we believe these things strongly, then we're putting ourselves into, into that horrible corner. Emotions fuels brilliance, and emotions fuels lunacy. Fuels is a hard one to say for me. Emotion will fuel brilliance, or it will fuel lunacy. Can you feel that? So we can step out of our comfort zones and feel like a little bit crazy, like, hey, I'm going to start a business, or I'm going to be this, or I'm going to go do this, or whatever. And your family's, oh, no, that's crazy. You need to have this steady job. I've told you all the stories about that. But the whole thing is that you can go beyond your comfort zone. You can. But you also can fuel this brilliant idea that you have. You can fuel this brilliant topic, or this brilliant idea for a business, or this brilliant idea for a new life, or this brilliant idea for your exercise plan. You can schedule your life accordingly and get the things that you want out of it, simply by deciding, am I going to be brilliant, or am I going to be a lunatic? Yeah, and you can take lunatic in either way, but sometimes you just have to do risky things, and that's part of the whole lunacy. So focus on thoughts that elicit strong and exciting emotions that are positive. Focus on those. And when you see the ones that pop up into your head and you're just starting to say, what the heck is this all about? And there it is, that dreadmill of negativity again popping up into your life, and it's old and it's continual. Out loud, I'm serious, this is what I want you to do. I want you to just clap like that and say, that's enough of that. Go into the mirror, look yourself into the eyeball, and say the exact polar opposite of what that is. I'm smart as heck, and I can do math if I want to, right? Those I am statements. I don't suck at anything. I am good at this. I can do anything I set my mind to. I am brilliant. I am smart. I am capable, and I'm willing to do the work that I need to do in order to get to the place that I need to. Do you get that? You can do anything you want in this life when you make the decision that is pro you. You can have a voice in your own life. Anything you want is there for the asking. It's a matter of starting with your thoughts. Your thoughts are going to transform the way you think about the world, the way you think about the people around you, the way you think about yourself, and what the possibilities for your life can be. Without those transformative thoughts, though, we get stuck in the dreadmill of negativity, and it keeps taking us down, and we can't figure out, because we're so used to it, we can't figure out why we feel bad all the time. Jenna says we can do the hard things. Yes, we can. We can do the hard things, and you know what else? We can rise above the negativity when we make a decision to do it at any time, And when we recognize the stuff that comes in, we can say, that's enough, I'm done. Now you're gonna probably have to say, that's enough, I'm done, a million times. You're gonna clap your way into the whole place. The reason we do the clap, it's for your brain. It's to say, wake up, whoa, come on, stop the automatic pilot. It's time to look at everything. It's time to say this is enough. It's time to say, this is what I want and this is what I'm going after. Because when we do, and we put our whole bodies on alert and we stay present with it, we can do the hard things. Yes, we can. We can break these negative patterns. Yes, we can. We can transform our thoughts. We can transform our words. We can transform our worlds. Anything is possible. And that's where I'm going to leave you today. I want you to see this. I want you to feel it. I want you to know that your emotion fuels either this brilliance or this lunacy, right? And you can do things. You can have possibilities galore if you make the decision that's what you want. It's up to you. That's the kind of freedom that you have. That's the kind of freedom that you have when you go inside and you're not scared of what's there. There's no boogeyman living in your head. You got that? Catherine says she's going to be clapping. Well, I do this with my coaching clients who have food addiction problems and want to go munch at night. I tell them to go, kitchen's closed at night. That's what I do. And this is the same thing. It does the same thing in your head. We need to understand how our brains work so we can understand how we cannot be manipulated by them anymore, so we can now manipulate our thoughts, right? We're in charge. We're in charge. Not just this amygdala that's in your brain that says, let's be scared all the time. No. We're going to stand up. We're going to take back our lives. Yeah? And transform everything. Who's with me? Pinkies up.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.